level up, 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 level up. He's $1 million.
Alright. Feel like it too, nigga. Yup. Yeah. Let's go. Yo, get it while you young. Broad day, dipping in the sun. Came a long way, look at where we from. It's only just begun. The path saying we already won. It's still time, go get it while you young. Shit, get it while you young. Broad day, dipping in the sun. Came a long way, look at where we from. Shit, we only just begun. Yeah, we already won. Yo. Know these streets so well, I slide through them with my eyes closed. Even in my worst dreams, I can find home. Ain't shit crazy, that's just how it goes. Switch it up, can't be lazy. Moms pick up a baby, playing slide stone. Them everyday people digging, trying to mine gold. But gold diggers pay admission, now the line's closed. The bad bitches pay attention when the smile's low. This next mission might switch it. Time zone up, so what? No risk, no prize, no luck. Roll the dice, I'm a product of where I've grown up. You gotta keep it low key for they size y'all up. Cause the last thing we needed it was eyes on us. It's full circle enterprise and my guys I trust. Better try playing B for y'all try y'all luck. Triple degree heat. Them summers hit different, but you can't speak. Behind them walls saying get it while you young. Broad day dipping in the sun. Came a long way, look at where we from. It's only just begun.
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling Black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, you think you know him because he's here every day, but maybe not. In our Wealth Building Wednesday spotlight today, a storyteller, a hip-hop artist, luminary, Miles Lowe. Miles Lowe Music is the business. Good morning, Miles.
Top of the morning, Dominique. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Well, you're in anyway, keeping the ship on course every day. But you have a whole business, and I it's really a great one. So I want to definitely shine some light on what you're doing. You're really an entrepreneur in the sense that you produce, write, and perform as an artist, but you also have your career as a manager, your own manager, your merchandise, all of that is handled by you.
Yeah, it took a while to get to this point of understanding that it is a business, you know what I mean? Because we look at it as being an artist for so long and just, doing what you got to do. And, nobody's going to help you, nobody's going to fund it for you. So, but in the grand scheme of things, if we really had that mindset as early on as I wish we had as artists, we'd be a lot further. So, yes, I am a business owner, small business owner. Yes, ma'am.
So, I mean, you design your own merch too, right? You design it, you market it, everything.
For the most part, I design it. Now, I'm learning that I'm not the best designer. I'm not the best marketer. But, yes, I do it myself, and I'm learning how to outsource it, how to get somebody who knows what they're doing to do it a little bit better. So, yeah.
And you have some new projects.
Yes, ma'am. Just dropped a new EP called While You Young. You can go get that right now on all your streaming platforms, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, Amazon Music, Pandora, Deezer, or you can just holler at me, Instagram Miles Lowe Music, and I'll make sure you get a hard copy in your mail for the right price. I'm ready.
So that's project number what for you? How many you have EPs, you got different projects out?
This is the EP. This one's a 5-track EP. I haven't sat and counted in a long time.
But you got a lot of stuff out there.
I got a nice amount of music out. Nice amount. This is my second one this year out. So yeah.
That's amazing. So tell a little about your backstory. I mean, you're from Vegas. You really kind of got started as a battle rapper, right?
Yeah, so I'm from Vegas, North Las Vegas. Raised out there. I started battle rapping in a league out there called AHAT, AHAT, all hip hop all the time. And I was in high school, about 14, 15 years old, and one of my battles ended up going viral. It's now currently the highest viewed English-speaking rap battle on YouTube at about 18 million views right now.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. It is. I'm glad that I was a part of it. I wish I was a little more progressive in my thinking when that happened, because I'd be able to capitalize off of it.
Well, you were a kid. I mean,
right, exactly. I was a kid. I was enjoying the moment. I was having fun. I was sharpening my skills up. But yeah, definitely a battle rapper. That was definitely a part of my past that I'm proud of. I'm glad it happened, and really helped build the foundation for what I do now. It helped me, establish my lyricism, establish my confidence and charisma in front of a room full of grown men and women.
yeah, which is notable. I mean, honestly, I've seen you perform. You see Miles. Miles is low key. That Leo, big charisma energy comes out on stage. It's like, oh, that's Miles Lowe, the artist.
Yeah, yeah, and it also what it did is it stamped me in my city, so it gave me a chance to really, get the approval of the people that I was growing up around. And, throughout my tenure from there to now, it's still been the same amount of love. I still have the same amount of respect and admiration. And, I'm seeing now as the generations change, the young kids that were listening to me on YouTube are now the adults now who are pushing me and building me up.
Coming to your shows.
Coming to my shows, supporting my events, downloading the music, DMing me saying, yo, you the truth. Yo, you still at it. Yo, I didn't know this, I didn't know rap could last this long. I thought it was just a little trend or something I can do to be hot. It's like, no, you're actually building a career with it and studying your craft. So, yeah, it was a great investment into my future, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the song we heard coming in, tell me what we were hearing.
That was a title track called While You Young. That's number one, first track on the EP. While You Young, I got it from Nipsey Hussle. He had a song on his album Victory Lap called Make a Million While You Young. And when I first moved to LA, I had a lot of Crenshaw area artists that I grew up on. Nipsey Hussle, Dom K, T-Fly, all these kind of people that I grew up on. I kind of tapped into that energy when I got out here. And, that's what Nip kept telling me, man, like, while you young, while you still got time, while energy is still in you, while you still focused. Because even with age, that changes. You know what I mean? I kind of had to realize that and not take my age and the position I have for granted and actually do something while I'm young. So the last year and a half, I've been kind of focused on putting together a streamline of music and production. So my first one was called No Place Like Home. It was a dedication to me leaving home. This is While You're Young. This is me establishing and coming to myself and, telling my own stories now.
And then I want to mention your live shows because you do perform with a whole band.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you making that choice? It's so much cheaper and easier to just perform with the track, but you have a whole band, and it's clearly there's like a creative synergy between you guys. It's a whole vibe.
Well, I credit that to my producer Noise. He's also my drummer. He's the musician. He was a band geek growing up. I was a battle rapper. He was a band geek and a techie, and his parents were touring. And when I started working with him, basically he found out about me from the battle raps and from my earlier music. And I was about 19 when I met him. And I met him, we started producing music, and as we started producing the songs and, becoming more of a brotherhood and started performing right before the pandemic, he always wanted to form a band. And he always had people who he played with and produced with, and he put the band together and, just saw the market in the industry before I did. So instead of me trying to just be a rapper and, bar out everybody on stage and have a DJ, he's like, no, man, this is going to set our live show apart from the rest.
And it does.
It does. It definitely does. And I didn't see it. I didn't believe it then, but now it's definitely where we're at now.
Do you feel a difference in the energy that you get as a lead just with a live band?
I said in a later one of my songs on the project, I'm less Miles Morales, a little more Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Because like Miles Davis used to do a lot of his shows performing with his back to the crowd. That's actually my mom named me Miles after Miles Davis would see him perform, and his back was to the crowd most of the show. And she thought that was the coolest thing ever. But as I got older, I realized that he wasn't turning his back to the crowd as much as he is playing with his band of brothers.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right,
so just being able to make music freely with my boys off music we already created, that's the dream. And I love that part of it. I hope every artist that gets out there gets to eventually perform with a live band.
So if we want the merch, I have one of your T-shirts. I love it. I wear it all the time. If we want the merch, where do we go? We know we can get your work, Miles Low Music,
Yep.
anywhere that music is found.
Yep.
And we can DM you on Instagram, Miles Low Music. But for the T-shirts and stuff.
So I've got a limited merch design that I'm working on that is live right now, mileslowmusic.com. Once again, mileslowmusic.com. Go get the merch as well. T-shirts, mugs, AirPod cases, sticker sheets, posters for your wall, flags, pouches. I'm trying to make as much merchandise as I can and get the message out there. Make the world feel. That's the motto I live by. I feel like that's my
Make the world feel good.
make the world feel good.
That's
Yes,
what my
ma'am.
T-shirt says, and I get compliments on it wherever I go.
Yeah.
So Miles, let's hear another song off the new project, and congratulations to you by the way for your entrepreneurial success and the energy that you continue to put into it. Why don't you introduce this song and take us out of this Wealth Building Wednesday? We do this every Wednesday, by the way. A BIPOC, Black-owned, small business, woman-owned, or socially innovative enterprise. We put the spotlight on them right here. So tell us about this song.
Yeah, so this track is called Undefeated. It's featuring one of my homies from back home. His name is East God Selly. Shout out to East God Selly. Gave me a great verse. And, it's just a testament to the battle rap days, a testament to growing up in Las Vegas and realizing that, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stories you have to tell in a time frame while you're young. So, once again, Miles Low Music, this is Undefeated. Really the best at doing this shit. No shit though. Yo. We grew up never wanting more than we could handle. Natural born leaders never seen examples. Take a chance in this life, try your hand, roll the dice. Slipping, liquor spilling when we lead a battle. Fought demons, they saying we undefeated. Our back on the ropes and we coming off them, swinging this gun smoke in a city that's cutthroat. The good die young, and where I'm from, it ain't just quote. In best case scenario, at this point, they put you in a verse, attach your name on their skin, or print you on their merch, and share them with the homies who connect with how they hurt. It's a cold game we live in, should've got the first. I guess that's what we get for playing defense. We had to learn the hard way, our fathers couldn't reach us. Battle-born knowledge, some college couldn't teach us. I'd rather run dollars up before I run bleachers. 2012.
I remember back in the days when I was younger, but I'm not a kid anymore. Sometimes it makes me wonder, lost so many homies in the summer. So I gotta stay high just to keep from going under. Back in the days when I was younger, but I'm not a kid anymore. Sometimes it makes me wonder, lost so many homies in the summer. So I gotta stay high, yeah, I gotta stay fly.
Lace up my J's, then I go on the move. Cause mentally and physically, they can't walk in my shoes. Back in the day, I used to feel I had something to prove. Nowadays, I take a risk cause ain't nothing to lose. Don't get too high up on yourself cause they gon' make you choose. And all the loud crowd cheering can turn into booze. And all the woke fans switch when they hit the snooze. They shallow buddy broad day, but it ain't make the news. It's crazy what these people do. My little homie 17, I asked him where you wanna be in 5 years. He looked at me and said 22. Just the thought to be alive can help him make it through. Cause in my city, they be plotting on your every move. Can't help but they don't want to. They rather swim in their own money like their Uncle Scrooge. It's selfish. They say we come from a place where we helpless, but I don't believe it. Fighting with my demons, I ain't undefeated. But I ain't never gave up on myself, so don't you give up on yourself. Just be scared to ask for help. Put that pride aside. Yeah. Miles was good, my nigga.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Here's to Prilosec OTC. Without Prilosec, I wouldn't be able to enjoy all this yummy holiday food. Speaking of, whoever made that apple pie, delicious. I just take one pill each morning and zero heartburn all day. So cheers to Prilosec OTC. Ooh, are those jalapeno poppers?
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn, so you can enjoy the holidays. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Shop Black Friday every day and get the best new deals all month long only at Lowe's. Right now, save up to $800 on select major appliances, plus save an extra $100 on select laundry pairs. And there's more. Bring home pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at $49. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid through 10/31. Applying savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Want my secret for finding fall style that can take you from home games to holiday get-togethers? Get to Kohl's. I just went and found myself the coziest sweaters for just $24.99 and jeans for my husband at $29.99. Plus, I saved 20% on some of my other faves and earned Kohl's Cash. So if you want to find new faves for every fall day and everyday savings, you know where to go. Select styles. Offers end October 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
All right, let's talk about it. There's a lot going on. Democrats had a good night last night when it comes to elections, off-year elections, some momentum, which is a nice contrast to the terrible drubbing that President Joe Biden has taken in some recent polls, and where he's losing to Donald Trump. And we'll go a little deeper into that. Before I launch into that, though, Miles, I wanted to ask you. What did I want to ask you? I want to ask you something else about your music. Okay, I'm gonna have to circle back because it just went out of my mind. But congratulations, Miles Lowe, Miles Lowe Music, on yet another project. Yeah. Where are you performing? Where can we see you? I know you have a really active fan base. And because when the show I went to, it was sold out. Packs. Where can I see you live?
Out of state, too, in San Diego. Out of state.
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't set up any shows yet. What I really want to do is I really want to... I'm working on the other side of artistry right now. I think I've done a lot of shows and a lot of... a lot of the lyricism and skill set work. Now I'm at a point where I want to start building the content up. So I'm going to do a lot more small, intimate shows where it's going to be invite only. So the best way to do that is follow me, Instagram Miles Lowe Music, YouTube Miles Lowe Music, Twitter Miles Lowe Music, X Miles Lowe Music, everywhere. Tap in with me and you'll get all the info you need. But no, right now I'm more focused on trying to put more of a intimate setting to really grow my core fan base.
And I know you're working on videos and all that stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
It's funny you said content because your IG says don't call my ish content.
Right, and it's art. I always like to call it art, not content. But now I guess I'm at a point where I understand that content sells the art.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you
meaning the little clips, the videos, the little teasers that get people interested in.
Coca-Cola has commercials. T-Mobile has commercials. State Farm has commercials. Your art needs commercials on this social world that we live in, this social TV.
So but when you say that, you're just making the distinction between art and commerce.
Yeah, but what I mean by saying that is I don't go in the booth and sell you content. Some people just sell you content and sell you the image and sell you the character of it. I'm selling you the art. The content is to get your attention to sell the art. But don't sit up here and say, oh, he's a content creator. Right. I'm an artist. I'm a true artist through and through.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love that distinction. That was the other thing I wanted to ask. But, thank you, Miles, and congrats.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
So the weed train is rolling on. Ohio voters on yesterday legalize adult recreational marijuana use. That starts in 30 days in Ohio. It was a measure called Issue 2, and it was a big shock, I think, to the Republican establishment there. They were fighting tooth and nail to keep that from passing, but it did pass handily. And it's funny because they had introduced it in 2022. Then Republicans did what they like to do, which is sue to keep it off the ballot. But eventually it ended up back on the ballot. And yesterday, Ohio became the 24th U.S. state where recreational cannabis is legal. It's still illegal on the federal level, which makes no sense at all. They still haven't even changed the classification of the drug. It's still considered on the same level as heroin, which makes zero sense, but it's still there. And I wonder at what point is the tipping point? Some advocates and activists saying, cannabis isn't even controversial anymore in most places. This guy for an organization called the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol, which is a great name for an organization because it kind of encapsulates where a lot of places are. It's not quite, because as someone pointed out, I think on this show, you can't just roll up to a bar and say, let me get some sativa, at least not yet, but we're moving in that direction. And like every single state that has cannabis legalized, they tax it. In Ohio, they'll be paying a 10% tax, and that tax is going to pay for addiction services, communities with cannabis facilities, and social equity programs. So hopefully they'll do a better job implementing that social equity piece than some other places have, notably California. But that's actually, I think, an excellent piece. The question is, how do you work out the kinks and make sure that social equity piece is justly administered, right? But I think it's a great idea. Alcohol should be doing the same thing. Why is this only cannabis? Why aren't the taxes for alcohol going to bolster communities where alcoholism is highest in impact? While we know what communities those would be. Those would be low-income places where people self-medicate, as they often don't have other means of relieving whatever their pain, trauma, and emotional burdens might be. Not an excuse, just a reality. And often the places where it's most difficult to get into rehab, to get any kind of treatment if one wants to be unencumbered from addiction. So maybe cannabis can influence, alcohol and other drugs. But as of now, we're at 24 states. What's the tipping point? At what point does the federal government have to catch up to the will of the people? Is it 26 states? That'd be 51%. No. Yeah, 51%. I don't know. My math ain't that great. It might be 52, but it'd be more than half. Let me put it that way. Is it right now? We saw this with marriage equality, where the state started stacking up, and then eventually it succeeded in being legalized for anyone to get married, regardless of their gender. I feel like the people have spoken, but Democrats, that I'm sure that's not their number one victory. I think it's important, and I think it's important. The other piece of this, which I'm sure Ohio will end up following suit, which is getting those people who have been jailed for cannabis-related offenses out, expunging their records so that they don't have to have their lives damaged any further by this, and prioritizing them participating in the benefits, which will now accrue very rapidly. And I'm going to say what I say a lot of times when I start going on about cannabis, which is, I'm going to challenge you, Black people, Latino people, progressives who claim you are allies. Why are you buying cannabis in non-Black owned stores or non-Latino owned stores if you're Latino? I mean, I drove by Mad Men the other day and I saw a line all down the block, and it was mostly Black people, and I was like, are you kidding me? That is not owned by us. It's not that you went all the way over to Westchester to buy some weed from a white guy instead of, does that mean that legalization is a step backward? You used to buy it from the guy around the corner. At least it was local. At least it was black owned if illegal. Come on now. We're on the legal side. You got to keep your dollars flowing to those BIPOC owned, black owned businesses. If you're in LA, go to Gorilla Wellness RX. If you're in another state, I'm sure there's a way to find. In fact, DM me. I'll find one for you. We're at KBLA 1580 on all social media, on X, on Instagram, Facebook. I'm broadcasting now on YouTube. Just DM me. I'll find you a black-owned weed woman, cannabis guy, whatever it is, whatever you call it, medicinal, recreation. Come on now. Recycle black bud. It's the easiest thing in the world. And you're spending money. You're spending a significant number of dollars on that. Why not recycle black dollars? Okay, we got news, traffic, and sports, and then let's talk about it. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The teachers union in Newark, New Jersey and NJ Advance Media are suing the Newark School District to try and get a hold of an anti-black bias report. The district hired a firm earlier in the year to conduct a study into complaints of racial bias and insensitivity at the School of Global Studies. That's a public high school. The superintendent of Newark Schools says the report is an internal draft document which would exempt it from the Open Public Records Act. The actors' strike could come to a close, according to Deadline. SAG-AFTRA and the movie and TV studios have reportedly reached an agreement on the use of artificial intelligence. The union's lead negotiators and studios met Tuesday in what could be the final phase to sealing a new deal. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Since 2010, Blindster has sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters to satisfied customers across the country with 20,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Custom blinds at low prices and free shipping. Blindster.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron has a rematch tonight in Houston with Dylan the Villain Brooks. Brooks signed with Houston in the summer after Memphis let him go. Brooks called LeBron old during their playoff series last season. He was ejected in Game 3 for hitting LeBron below the belt. Brooks is already talking smack. He said he's ready to lock up LeBron. 5 p.m. tip-off. The Clippers are at Brooklyn tonight. Second game for James Harden with the Clippers, 4:30 tip. Virginia Union will play Winston-Salem State in the NBA's HBCU Classic during All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. The game will be Saturday, February 17th. TNT and ESPN2 will have live coverage. The Rams signed veteran quarterback Carson Wentz, a first-round pick in the 2016 draft. The Rams need a backup quarterback after releasing Brett Ripien on Tuesday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. Let's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When is the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
She's so smooth, so
I'm interrupting my own shower to remind you to treat your skin like the queen she is with Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash, packed with Olay's highest level of vitamin B3 complex. It's so moisturizing that it will give you visibly smoother, head-turning skin in just 14 days. People wondering, how'd she get so smooth? Olay Hyaluronic Body Wash. Also, try Olay Hyaluronic Body Lotion.
Spilled your drink? Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
Meet Bruce.
Hey there.
He's a busy soccer dad who's trying hard to learn the game.
Go for the end zone.
Whoops. Luckily, other things come easy, like banking with Chase. On a tip from his banker, he set up autosave in the Chase mobile app. So what are you saving for, Bruce?
Father-daughter soccer camp.
Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Autosave requires a Chase checking and savings account. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Ohio is considered a conservative state, and they have legalized recreational cannabis. Look, I wasn't suggesting you should contact me so I can sell you some weed. Just to be clear, I was just going to make a referral to a Black-owned or BIPOC-owned business. That was my plan. That is my plan. You can also call 1-800-UNITE-US. I'm sure he lists every Black-owned business. But that wasn't the only victory, by the way, for Democrats, that legalization of recreational cannabis. In fact, Ohio also passed a bill that will protect the woman's right to choose in that state, protect the right to terminate a pregnancy. And this was passed by a wide margin, even though Ohio is considered conservative. Democrats are seeing how important this particular issue is to voters, that even some moderate Republicans will come over to the Democratic side when faced with the issue of whether or not to continue a woman's right to choose. And so Democrats are putting similar issues on state ballots for 2024. Those issues will hopefully energize voters to get out and protect the woman's right to choose. And while they are at it, they will vote, hopefully, the rest of the ballot, the hold-down ballot. The election is good news for Dems, who have been struggling at the top of the ticket as Biden's popularity is not holding strong. In fact, it's been going down. And my personal belief is that the Biden administration's handling of the crisis in the Middle East is going to cost him big time in 2024. I believe that. I believe they're out of touch with young voters, Black voters, and BIPOC voters. Not to say all of those are monoliths, but they certainly have trend lines and tendencies. And this idea that people were going to kind of get over the fact that Roe versus Wade was overturned and return to some kind of baseline of, the phenomena of the white woman Trump voter, the phenomena of the independents breaking for Trump, that could be impacted. It seems like people thought, well, people will be over it by 2024. Yesterday's results seem to show, no, we won't be over it by 2024. And this issue of a woman's right to choose and the extreme court overturning Roe v. Wade continues to motivate voters in a big way. And it looks like it's going to impact 2024 as well. Kentucky kept their Democrat governor, and that, that race kind of hinged somewhat on a woman's right to choose. That's what they were fighting about. That's what Andy Beshear, the Democrat who won there in Kentucky, that's what he was, really hammering his opponent with, and that worked for him. In the state of Virginia, Democrats won both chambers of that state house. And that is despite a huge effort by Republican Governor Youngkin to create a supermajority for himself, to be able to really roll over not just a woman's right to choose, but also what's happening in our schools. Because as you know, school boards became battlegrounds for ethnic studies, for LGBTQ plus content, for this idea of what books we can have in libraries and who gets to approve what children read, the banning of books, all of these hot button issues which are at the core of our intellectual freedom are taking place in school boards, local school boards. And in this election that we saw on yesterday, those school boards held up in the main for Democrats. It seems like a little thing, school boards, but it has become a major battleground for intellectual freedom, for censorship, freedom of speech, and what is the content of the education that we're providing to our children. Of course, Florida, the extreme, but to me, Florida is the canary in the coal mine because it shows you what Republicans have in store for you if they're allowed to continue the free reign of some of these local conservative organizing drives that often center in school boards. In Pennsylvania, there was a battle over a Supreme Court seat. Again, the abortion and a woman's right to choose becomes a hot button issue here. Democrats were able to win that seat on the state Supreme Court. And that measure in Ohio that's meant to protect a woman's right to choose, it didn't just squeeze by. It won by 10 points. That's a huge margin of victory for a conservative state. And it helps explain why Republicans are coming up with all these contorted word salads to explain where they are on a woman's right to choose. Even Trump, who has bragged about being able to overturn Roe v. Wade and his, effectiveness as a champion of these really what I'll call theocratic agendas, these agendas of the conservative evangelical vote, right? Which to me is theocratic because I believe you have the right to function with your own moral code and beliefs. I'm not trying to overturn that. I'm not trying to recruit your kid to terminate a pregnancy or anything like that. But when your religious beliefs, whether they be Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or other, when they are codified into law, that's a theocracy. That means one religion is controlling the whole population, and we're supposed to have freedom of religion, or as the atheists like to say, freedom from religion. In this country, you're supposed to have the choice. It's not supposed to be mandated. This is not Afghanistan where, the religious law is the same as the civic law. And so that evangelical vote is what, has really been amazingly loyal to he who shall not be named, the 45th president. And I believe it continues to buoy his ratings. They're like, well, if we have to make a deal with if we have to make a deal with the orange man, even though he's an amoral criminal, then we got to do what we got to do because we need to win on Roe versus Wade. We need to win on, critical race theory. I'm laughing because we all know, or we should know, that that's not even something that's taught in elementary and high school. It's not even until grad school in most cases, but it's become the boogeyman of education. And these folks either didn't show up or were simply outnumbered on Tuesday, which is a tiny ray of hope for Democrats in 2024. I hope, though, that we don't rest on our laurels and say, oh, we'll see, we can fall back on this issue or these voters, because it is true that typically midterm elections are losses for the party in power, but re-elections, which is what we're looking at in 2024, tend to be very laser focused on the actual president. And our actual president is not too popular right now. And some of those issues are issues that will be tough to overcome, i.e. the perception that he is elderly, as is Trump, but that elderly coming with a brand of politics that belongs to another age. And we're seeing that play out in the Middle East. We've seen it play out in Cuba, etc., etc., etc. It is the perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. A little update on the what's going on with the SAG-AFTRA situation when we come forward. And why are people lining up to get brain implants from Elon Musk? Maybe you can explain it to me. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominic DePrima when we come forward.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its Reparations Advisory Commission are calling on you to be a part of something powerful. Join the Black Experience Study to share your experiences with the City of Los Angeles. We want to hear your stories. To join the study, join a focus group, or schedule an interview with us, visit www.blackexperiencela.com by December 31st. For more information, call 213-978-1845 or visit www.laisforeveryone.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. Today I spoke with Tatiana, a community manager for JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Tatiana Roberts. I am a community manager for JP Morgan Chase. I have to honestly say that this has been the most fulfilling position that I've ever had, where I get to give back to the community because I saw my mom's struggles. That's really what fuels what I do to make sure that the community has all the access to the resources that my mother didn't have.
So for the mother who's in business, what are 3 quick tips you can give to ensure that they're on the right path to accessing financial support from a bank like Chase?
Say number 1, just make sure that you're checking your credit on a consistent basis and taking action to either fix your credit, maintain your credit, or rebuild your credit. The second thing would be budget. I know that B word is kind of like ugly right? A lot of people don't like that B word, but it has to be done. We need to tell our money where to go. The last thing is to build a network of supporters that are going to lift you up.
The community building here in Crenshaw is that network. So visit the Chase Community Center on Crenshaw and Vernon. Meet a banker today. Tell them about your business. I'm Maisha Cairo in the community for KBLA with JP Morgan Chase.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right now, 800-920-1580 is the number to call. So apparently people are lining up to get these brain implants. Neurolink is the name of the company. It's a company owned by Elon Musk. And the idea is that you will implant people's brains with this chip that is meant to make you smarter. That's the pitch, right? You get, I guess it's like having Google inside of your own brain where you wouldn't actually have to. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, apparently thousands of people are already on a waiting list to get these brain implants. It was approved by the FDA to go forward, and they haven't yet done it, tried it out on a person, but they're planning to implant these chips in 11 people next year. And the idea is by 2030, 22,000 people will have brain implants by Elon Musk's company, Neuralink. And I'm thinking about Twitter, X, how well that's going for Mr. Musk. I'm thinking about Tesla. Remember, we were supposed to have self-driving cars already and all of these explosions that are happening with the... I mean, Teslas are beautiful cars. If it wasn't for the racism, I'd probably drive one myself. And risk a fiery crash. Yeah, I know. But the thing is... And he has had good success. I give you that with SpaceX, right? But you think about putting something in your brain. If there's glitches or explosions or short circuits, that's your whole head. Like, no, that's a no for me. I don't get it. And also, what else is going in there? Do you control it? Do you understand it? Do you know the ingredient? I mean, y'all worried about taking a shot because you don't know all the ingredients. You want to let somebody put a whole chip in your head? I don't think so. You'll be on GPS, start tweaking now. What, Miles?
I have a question because I'm listening to what you said. Is it Elon Musk or is it the technology that you're not into?
Both.
Okay. All right.
And I won't say I'm not into the technology, Miles. I'm not into allowing that technology to be placed in humans before, much more extensive trials.
But you are for it. So if it does pass, quote unquote, and gets approved in trials, you still with it?
I would not be allowing a company owned by Elon Musk or any other corporate baron to put a chip in my head. I wouldn't do that. If other people want to do it, I think they should have the right.
Would you support if your child wanted to get it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, but I don't know, my child is, now.
Gen Xer. Gen X, is that where we're at? Gen Zer?
Gen Z.
Okay,
my child is Gen Z, and my child is legally an adult now. So if my child wants to put in a chip, I might not be able to do anything about it.
Put ChatGPT in the brain?
Yeah, right. Jeez. Think about the misinformation, the oh, gosh, it's really a slippery slope. It's not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically progressive. I'm laughing because progressive means going forward, and I don't want you to go forward with your chip in your head. But I still consider myself progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the voice of reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007 they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Miles, I asked you off the air. I'll ask you on the air. Would you get one of those Neuralink implants in your head?
Hell no.
Yeah. But you brought up some great questions, which is what happens when everyone has it?
I mean, like, it's, what's the word I was reading about? Like mass adoption, once it's accepted by everybody, the same way how AI is going to be accepted, and Uber and Airbnb and the internet. Like, we've seen it take steps.
Yeah,
you know?
and I can't even remember phone numbers anymore. There was a time when I knew a lot of people's phone numbers. Imagine if you have a chip in your head, all the stuff you might no longer do.
You wake up in the morning, it debriefs you. Oh, today is so-and-so's birthday.
Right.
Here's
and so your brain can just atrophy.
I don't know.
Not to mention we don't know what, how that would affect the rest of your brain.
Your body, your consciousness.
Exactly. Your motor skills. There's so many things our brains do that we don't fully understand.
Mm-hmm.
The functionality. And for my conspiracy theory, or researchers think Operation Garden Plot, right, where government agencies were remote controlling people due to their mental illness or whatever programming they had done to them. Well, now you have a whole chip. Yeah. You can just remote control a person.
And then, like you said, too, like imagine trying to compete in work fields, in school, in, sports, whatever, with these.
Right. You don't have a chip and that person does.
Exactly.
And to your point, are we now transhumanoids?
Trans, man. Transhumanoid, trans smart. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
I'm just going to go with no for now.
Yeah. For now?
Yeah. I mean, because I think it's a long, hard no. But here's the thing, Miles. We change. We change our opinion as we get more information, more data.
This is evolution, though, type. This is better than, this is bigger than just change.
I'm not trying to be a transhumanoid, you know, unless I needed like a leg or an arm. That's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Your brain, that's your head, your crown, your consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
No, and no. Anyway, we got JW on the phone. Hi, JW. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm good. With the brain I got. How are you?
Yeah, so am I with the brain I have as well. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being off topic, but actually I just want to give you your props because I caught one of your shows Friday last night, and I caught the tail end. And I was so motivated to call in this morning, but I wanted to call in earlier, but it's after the fact, so I'm dying come lately. But the point I wanted to make is I'm glad that you are including different point of views as well as different groups of people that have organizations that did the research and have history and have some factual information about reparations. And so that's like a breath of fresh air. I believe it's long overdue. I wish we could have had this conversation, or you could have had this forum sooner, like maybe a year ago, because we needed to get this exposure out a while back, but better late than never. And I'm just so grateful that you did that, So that's the point I wanted to make. And my second point was, like I always said, I wish that some of these professors, legal minds, attorneys that are well-versed in creating some type of language or law or fabricating a particular type of way of communicating the law, the letter of the law. Because one of your guests was talking about the letter of the law and the spirit of the law.
Yeah. And
the contrast between the two. And the point is, this country is nation is founded on law. So if we formulate or fabricate or create our own language and don't depend on the standard Queen's English or the current, language that they use in their particular narratives and theories and point of views.
All right, you're all in my news, traffic, and sports, JW. I kind of get where you're going, but land for me real quick.
Where I'm coming from. So that's pretty much it. Just the land where I just hope we can just create our own language and create some type of legal document where we can have reparations.
Absolutely. Well, join me on Freedman Friday. It's coming up in just a couple days. I'll talk to you then. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest bias report. The district hired a firm earlier in the year to conduct a study into complaints